Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into Dickens. We're taking on Great Expectations today. Those excerpts you sent in. Yeah, it should be quite a journey. I mean, just thinking about 19th century England, those smoky London streets, you can practically feel the fog, right? And all those rigid social structures. It wasn't easy to climb that ladder, especially for someone like Pip, our protagonist.
You hit the nail on the head there. Dickens was brilliant at capturing that contrast, that tension,
Yeah.
between those humble beginnings and those great expectations that suddenly land on Pip's doorstep. It's all there right from the start.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that scene with the stolen pie, young Pip hiding it for the convict, you can taste the fear, the desperation, almost like that pie represents everything he's missing out on in life. And it's that longing that pushes him forward, even when he's thrust into this world of fortune. Thanks to that mysterious benefactor.
It's more than just a pie, though, right? That scene really sets the stage for Pip's whole childhood. Poverty, that constant threat of violence, not just from convicts, but from his own sister, Mrs. Joe. You can see why he'd crave something more.
It's like fuel for his ambition.
Mm.
But then, suddenly he's on his way to becoming a London gentleman, believing that's the key to, well, everything he ever wanted.
And that's where Dickens really dives into social mobility, doesn't he? Pip becomes so fixated on fitting in, he pushes away the people who truly care for him, like good old Joe, his brother-in-law. It's like he equates wealth and status with happiness. But as we see, it's not that simple.
Oh, not at all. And let's not forget about Estella, that driving force behind so much of Pip's ambition. She's mesmerizing, but so cold, like a weapon designed to break hearts.
Oh, Estella. She's the embodiment of unattainable desire. And it's no accident, right? She was raised that way by Miss Havisham, trained to be a heartbreaker. And speaking of Miss Havisham, we encounter her in one of those excerpts. Frozen in time in her decaying mansion, still wearing her wedding dress. It's like her whole existence is clinging to that pain.
Ugh, that scene always gives me chills. It's so gothic,
Yeah.
like a ghost story. That stopped clock, the rotting wedding feast. The powerful image, right? How bitterness and holding on to the past can trap you.
It's a cautionary tale. She's not just eccentric. Miss Havisham is a warning, and she's molded Estella in her own image, passing down that legacy of pain and mistrust. It makes you understand Estella a bit more, why she can't truly connect with anyone.
Makes you wonder if she ever had a chance at real happiness. But then Pip isn't completely innocent either. He's seduced by the promise of wealth and status, ignores all the warning signs, almost willingly walks into that gilded cage.
And that's where the central conflict of the novel really takes hold. Pip's caught between who he was that humble boy on the marshes and who he thinks he must become to achieve those great expectations. But as we'll see, that transformation comes with a hefty price tag.
Yeah, that price tag. It becomes pretty clear when the truth about Pip's benefactor comes out.
Uh-huh.
It's not some fancy gentleman, but the convict he helped as a kid. It shatters Pip's whole world, He's
Yeah.
forced to face the hypocrisy, the way he's been living.
That twist, man, it gets me every time. I mean, here's Pip trying so hard to be a gentleman, and his fortune comes from, well, someone society considers the opposite. What a moral dilemma.
It's classic Dickens. He completely flips the script on Pip, on the reader, too. Makes us question everything we thought we knew about worth, about respectability. Suddenly, Pip's shame isn't just about where he came from. It's about this taint on his wealth. Where does true goodness lie, right? Is it about social status or something more? It definitely throws Pip for a loop. You see him wrestling with guilt, with gratitude. It's this huge internal conflict, who he is versus who he thinks he should be. And through it all, he's still clinging to Estella, trapped in this world that's slowly, crushing him.
It's another layer to his struggle. Pip's convinced that if he reaches this high status, then he'll finally be worthy of her love. But it's doomed to fail. Especially with Estella's upbringing. You can't just force those things.
When I read about Estella marrying Drummle, I was so angry. He's such a brute. The opposite of that refined gentleman Pip's trying to be. It's like Dickens was purposely making it hurt, showing how blind ambition can lead to heartbreak.
It's brutal, but it's a lesson Pip needs to learn. Estella's marriage. It's not about love. It's about repeating that cycle of pain Miss Havisham created. Pip tries so hard to change himself, but he can't escape his own heart. You can't force someone to love you.
It's a tough realization. It sends Pip spiraling. He loses everything. His grand expectations just crumble, and he has to face the damage he's done to himself and to everyone who actually cared about him.
But hitting rock bottom, it's actually what saves Pip in the end. It's painful, but it strips away his illusions. He can finally see clearly. He goes back to where he started and recognizes the real value of Joe. His loyalty, his unwavering love, That's what matters.
It's like he has to lose it all before he can find himself. Real happiness isn't about wealth or status. It's about those genuine connections, the ones he once took for granted.
Exactly. And that realization, it's hard-won, but it lets him become a truer version of himself, free from those expectations. Which leads us to that final meeting with Estella, years after they went their separate ways.
That scene always sparks so much debate. They've both been through so much, it feels like there's a possibility there. But also a kind of lingering sadness. Do you think Dickens is hinting at a reconciliation? What's he doing there?
He leaves it open-ended, which is brilliant. You see Estella soften, she recognizes the pain she's caused, the pain she's felt herself. And Pip, he's not that naive young man anymore, desperate for her approval. It's different now.
They meet as equals, both carrying their scars. But they understand each other in a new way. It's not romantic love, not in the usual sense. It's deeper than that. A connection forged through shared experience. Maybe even forgiveness.
And that's the beauty of great expectations, right? It doesn't wrap everything up neatly. It leaves you with questions, makes you think about these characters long after you finish the book.
Makes you think about our own great expectations, too. Those dreams we chase. But like Pip learned, sometimes the best path is the one we least expect. The one that leads us back to ourselves, to what truly matters.
It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have. Those simple blessings that make life richer. We don't always see them, though.
It's not easy, is it? Especially in a world that values appearances and success. It's so easy to get caught up in chasing what we think we should want, instead of what truly feeds our souls.
It is hard. But that's the biggest lesson from Pip, I think. He had to lose it all to see how empty his ambition was before he could rediscover their simple things. Joe's friendship, the satisfaction of honest work, the peace that comes from being yourself.
It's a powerful reminder. Sometimes letting go of those great expectations is the key to real happiness.
It's that shift in perspective that lets us grow, to change. It lets us embrace our past, forgive, and move into a future where happiness isn't about what's outside, but about that inner peace, that sense of purpose.
Wow, I mean, even just these little excerpts, these glimpses into Pip's life, they really make you think, don't they?
It's the mark of a great storyteller, isn't it? Dickens just gets to the heart of it, those universal feelings we all have, the need for love, for belonging, for a purpose. And centuries later, his stories still speak to us because they reflect our own lives, our own great expectations back at us.
You know, it makes me wonder about all those expectations we put on ourselves. Maybe not about money or status, but those internal ones, you know. The benchmarks we set for happiness, for success, even for love.
That's a really interesting point. It's like Dickens is challenging us, isn't he? Asking us to look at what we're really chasing. Are we after illusions? Or are we going after what truly matters? Are we building our lives on genuine connection, on self-acceptance? Or are we stuck in this loop of needing the world to tell us we're good enough?
It's tough to figure out sometimes, right? Especially these days, when everything is about appearances, about what you have. It's so easy to get caught up in that, striving for what we think we're supposed to want, instead of what actually makes us feel alive.
It really is. But maybe that's the real takeaway from Pip's story. He had to go through all that loss to see how empty those ambitions were before he could rediscover what mattered, the loyalty of a friend like Joe, finding satisfaction in honest work, the peace that comes from just being yourself.
It's a good reminder. Sometimes letting go of those great expectations is what frees us to find true happiness.
Absolutely. And that shift in perspective, that's what allows for real growth, for change. It lets us embrace our past, to forgive, and move into a future where happiness isn't about external things. It's about that inner peace, that sense of purpose.
Well, we've come to the end of our deep dives into great expectations.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm feeling grateful. Grateful for Dickens for his ability to tell such a timeless story and for the chance to revisit it through these excerpts. It's been quite a journey.
It has. And as you go about your day, I'd encourage you to think about this. What are your own great expectations? Are they leading you toward a life that feels real, that feels meaningful, or are they blocking you from seeing the simple joys that are already there? Maybe, like Pip, we all have a bit of untangling to do. A journey back to ourselves and to the things that truly matter. Thanks for joining us for this exploration.